everybody. It's Jason Lee. You've seen me on a lot of great shows, like My Name is Earl. I wanted to tell you about another great show that you can only hear in podcast form. It's called the Jason Lee Podcast. What? I don't have a podcast? But my best friend Kevin Smith does? Oh, who cares about him? Who cares about network podcasters? It's all about the independent podcasters. That's who you should be listening to. Tell your friends to support independent podcasters, because, like the skateboards I ride often, they're rad. This is Jason Lee, and now on with the Jason Lee Podcast. What? Oh, I mean, with Mike's Daily Podcast with Mike Matthews. Thanks!
This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 839. It's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway here at the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today, the return of that crazy conservative hillbilly CLEM. We do a special Mike on Mobile from his scary backwards world. Plus, we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer, and Internet Explorers going bye-bye. What will I use to search?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
For masseuses within 5 miles radius of my house that specialize in cheek cramps. I use
Mike's Daily Podcast.
my cheeks a lot when I laugh. There is a senator who used to be the Speaker of the Senate, but now you see last year at the election, Harry Reid lost his position. But I must plead that we give some balls to Harry.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
He says meaningful things, but when he
Mike's
speaks,
Daily
it gets drowned
Podcast.
way deep down
Yeah!
in his old man sound. Like when he chastised the Republicans for that Iran letter. Dude, I agree with you. But I wish I could hear you better, and I know that I can't hear him that well because he's gone through some injuries and he's old. But here's what he said.
As leaders should do everything we can to help these negotiations succeed. When it comes to preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear bomb,
Why is he
we should
whispering?
put partisanship way to one side. Sadly, though,
Is he sick? Is he dying? He's got the glasses on like he's blind.
President Obama. Today, Republican senators actually sent a letter to the Iranian leadership aimed at sabotaging these negotiations.
He had eye surgery in his right eye to remove a blood clot. And also he had to repair bones in his face from an accident he suffered while exercising earlier this year. So yeah, he's old. Will I be doing this when I'm his age? I hope so. And will I have had to have eye surgery and maybe I've fallen down in my bathroom? Maybe. I wish I could do some bionic surgery on him and just bring him to full power. Because the words he says are powerful, like this particular thing.
Let's be very clear. Republicans are undermining our commander-in-chief while empowering the Ayatollahs.
He can barely get that out. Look who just walked in. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, Jump Supervisor. Why are you being so mean to that old man? I am not being mean. I want to give him bionic surgery. Mike Matthews, that's so mean. It's not. I want to give him something, which I don't have, but maybe these guys might have bionic technology. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer, Mike. I have not been able yet to create bionic technology, but when I do, I will call up Harry Reid so that I can then name him Steve Austin. What, the wrestler? No, Steve Austin, the Bionic Man, Lee Majors. Don't you remember him? Oh yeah, the Fall Guy. I love how all these 1970s TV characters are coming back, like the Dukes of Hazzard. They got their own commercial. Mike, what happened the last show? We weren't here. Oh, yeah. The last show, Valentino and Bison Bentley fact-checked me, and that was painful to have to go through that. But that's the world we live in. fact-checking. And it turns out that, well, I may have said a few things wrong. Like, Matthews, why are you laughing? I'm just... you should laugh at your own mistakes, Chely. I don't ever make a mistake. Oh, you sound like my ex-wife. Yes, he went to the ex-wife jokes. Let's hear it for ex-wife jokes. Now, this little thing called Internet Explorer, it may soon be a thing of the past. As I go into total Southern California voice mode, nah. Microsoft this week pulled back the curtain on some of its plans for Windows 10, according to the SeattleTimes.com, hinting at the beginning of the end for one of the company's iconic brands and announcing a login screen activated by facial recognition or by thumbprint. Microsoft executives confirmed back in January that the company was developing a new web browser, codenamed Spartan, for the upcoming Windows 10 operating system. The browser would have features tailored to the modern internet, emphasizing reading and allowing for tools like the integration of Microsoft's voice-activated assistant called Cortana and annotation of web pages. Executives at this January event didn't mention Internet Explorer, which of course is Microsoft's longtime web browser, when discussing their plans. Now they are seeking a permanent name for Spartan, potentially leaving the Internet Explorer brand by the wayside. Their marketing chief, by the way, marketing chiefs scare me. These people are all about image and branding, and that whole thing kind of freaks me out. Doesn't it freak you out? It's sort of like if you were getting ready for work and all of a sudden this marketing chief walks in and says, you can't wear that. That says the wrong message to the people. You can't, that we tested and that color doesn't work well. Wear something else. And you got to do something about your hair. Color it. Coloring tests well. It's like, shut up. Anyway, this marketing chief for Microsoft said in a conference this week in Atlanta that the company's research, here we go, showed potential names starting with Microsoft scored better with Google Chrome users in the UK than variations of Internet Explorer. A Microsoft spokesperson said Internet Explorer would still be shipped on copies of Windows 10 for businesses and other customers who require legacy browser support. Internet Explorer was the world's default gateway to the web for much of the late 90s and early 2000s, after Microsoft emerged victorious in the bitter battle for the browser market share against Netscape. And Netscape vanished, never to be seen again. But get this, now, on tablets and smartphones, its share of the browser market is now less than 3%, trailing rivals built by Google, Apple, and Opera. And of course, there's that little thing called Firefox, Mozilla, that, by the way, they moved into the Gordon Biersch restaurant down along the Embarcadero in San Francisco. They've got this really cool sculpture out front, and I think it's got like all this coating and stuff on it, and they've got like a little coffee house inside. It's a trip. The upcoming version of Microsoft's operating system, set for release sometime later this year, is also going to support scanners that allow users to log in with a thumbprint or facial recognition instead of all those messy, problems-causing passwords. And coming up with passwords will become a thing of the past. There were even companies that were built up around saving your passwords for you. Oh, now we can say goodbye to those friggin' stupid things. I'm a creative guy, but I can't come up with passwords after a while. I'm just sort of like, oh, all right, 11111. And that's why my computer doesn't work right anymore, because it's full of viruses. Oh, there it goes right now. It just fell apart. That's right. My computer's made out of cloth, and it just tore right down the middle. That new facial recognition program, by the way, is going to be called Windows Hello. And you got to do it like this. Windows Hello. Like you're a really obnoxious operator. Operators were these people that used to answer phones back in the day, for all of you who are in your 20s. And I love you 20-somethings, because you're listening to podcasts and you're playing computer games and watching whatever you want to watch off the internet, and I'm just so proud of you. I would pat you on the back, but that would be very condescending and also impossible. Finally, the company also announced today that their newest proprietary hardware, the Band Health Tracker, was set for increased shipments after initial consumer demand that regularly wiped out limited stock of the device. You know what? It's so interesting how that sort of thing has become huge. And I got my Fitbit a couple years ago now, back in back in 1822. It's been a while. Anyway, and remember, I don't know if you've been a longtime fan of this show, you know that I lost my Fitbit. You got to be careful with those little tracking devices because they'll fall off your belt, and then all of a sudden, bam, there goes $150. And I actually wrote Fitbit and said, hey, do you guys want to do an interview, be on my show in return for you giving me a new Fitbit? They just went ahead and sent me a new Fitbit. They said, oh, don't worry about it. You can mention us if you want, but here's a Fitbit. That was so nice of them. And I'm just very aware of nice things because no one ever does anything nice for me anymore. I don't know why. It might be because I'm bald and the fact that I don't have curly, fluffy hair like I used to have a long time ago. Mike Matthews like, oh my God, let it go. Sorry. Okay. So what do you think about all that? And do you hope Harry Reid recovers soon so his strong voice... his voice was never really that strong. Do you think Harry Reid needs a strong voice? Do you like his light librarian-esque type voice? Speak softly but carry a big stick? Or carry a state that carries all the atomic weapons in the world? Or what do you think about saying goodbye to Internet Explorer? Do you ever use it anymore? Do you remember the good old days of Netscape? Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST-839-Politics. Or what about Ask Jeeves? Oh, remember those days? Actually, Ask is still around. And they are in Oakland. And they've got their name on top of one of the buildings down there. So when you zip through Oakland on 880 or on BART, you see that big Ask logo still there. So I guess somebody's using that still. Jeez, it's not me. Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also, email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. Check out the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, with links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. If you do listen to us there, rate the show and comment on the show. If you do that, more people find out about us, and then we don't languish in obscurity like Jason Lee was talking about at the beginning of the show. You can also hear us on SoundCloud, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, and Ameristream. And share this show with your friends through Facebook. Like the Facebook page when I post a new show. Share it with your friends and more people will find out about us. You can also retweet us on Twitter. Links to where to find us there, as well as on Instagram, Yelp, and Tumblr. Also at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And there's the Amazon link. If you're going to buy anything through Amazon, go through MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com and buy it that way. That way we get a little bit of it. It's a little bit of support for the show. And finally, you can read the blog, see all the podcast pictures, and all my past interviews. Ooh, and also find where I can be heard every weekday. I'm on a radio station in Connecticut now from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And where to listen to that, you can find that at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Mike on Mobile.
It's Mike Matthews and Mike on Mobile here on Mike's Daily Podcast. And every couple months or so, I find myself drugged. And then I'm dragged out of my house. And then I awaken with soreness on certain parts of my body I don't want to repeat. And I am lying prostrate in the home of the wonderful Clem. How's it going, Clem?
Good.
I see your mom is here today.
Yeah, she just shows up sometimes. That's right.
And she is looks like she just ate what was that, wild boar or a couple of moon pies and an armadillo, looks like.
That was venison and wild boar. That's correct.
Yum, delicious. So it feels good to be here. I'm a little scared because I don't know how I'm going to get home because I don't know where I am, but you'll get me a ride back?
We're in Greenbow, Alabama.
Oh, Greenbow. Wait a minute. Isn't that the mythical home of Forrest Gump?
I'm not sure who that is, but possibly.
Are you Forrest Gump?
People have made that assertion previously, but I don't know who that is, so I'll let the conjecture roll on.
Acetoshin? Ass lotion?
Acetation?
Okay. I was getting a little scared there, Clem. Clem, how have you been? Here it's 2015, or do you say 2015?
I say 015.
And then, how's this year been for you so far, Clem?
I mean, I think we can finally prove global warming is a hoax. There's like 80,000 feet of snow on the East Coast there. It's say global warming, my ass. I can go pick up a snowball right now.
Were you frightened by the snow falling out of the sky? Did you go, what is that?
Global warming is a liberal gay agenda advancing. It's all about Hollywood, Mike. You follow my drift.
Snowdrift?
These are coherent thoughts I'm meshing together. Take notes, Michael.
All right, let me write this down. Hollywood, gay, Neil Patrick Harris. What else?
He's the worst of them.
Global warming. All right. Well, how about Obamacare? I know you want Obamacare repealed. Here's my question to you. What are you going to put in place of Obamacare once you get rid of it?
I say everyone who doesn't have insurance wear burlap bags, wear sacks, put, one of them, remember in the 20s when no one had no money? Remember when the stock market crashed, the first Great Depression there, right? People wore suspenders, they wore burlap sacks, and they wore barrels. And they didn't get sick. Let's go back to that time when America was America and where blacks were discriminated against and gays couldn't get married.
Wow, you are getting so angry. But, the barrels are just pretty much thrown away now, so we could put some suspenders on them and have fashionable clothing wear.
They age beer, have you heard of this, in wine barrels now. The gays, mostly.
Uh-huh.
They try to corrupt it. People say, and this is science, okay?
Uh-huh.
If you drink beer aged in wine barrels, you turn to a okay, Michael?
I had to bleep that word. I hope you weren't scared by that bleeping noise you just heard.
Speaking of Bill O'Reilly, this man is a storyteller of our ages, and he's under fire from the same liberal gay agenda of Rachel Maddow, lesbian, MSNBC, conservative hating Democrats about embellishing stories. Ever heard about that, Mike?
When you have an adjective modifying an adjective, that adjective actually becomes an adverb. Did you know that?
I didn't finish past the third grade, so save your college talk for your friends, Mike.
Rachel Maddow is from Podcastra Valley, California. Isn't that interesting?
The gays are from the Bay Area.
Rachel Maddow looks like Ira Glass, and he has the most popular podcast in the world, This American Life. What do you think? Do you wish you were on that podcast instead of mine?
I'm a fan of Serial. Everyone knows that he did it. The guy is Muslim. So clearly yes, spoiler alert, the guy killed everyone, his girlfriend included. But yes, I do love that show.
Oh, I hate that show so much. Not that it's probably a wonderful show, but I hate the whole concept of that podcast having more listens than any podcast in history and mine languishing in obscurity. I don't think I'll ever... Do I need to get a murdering Muslim on my show in order to get more popular?
Well, let me make a confession to you, Michael. I was watching, from time to time, I watch Saturday Night Live, okay? Mm-hmm. I know that it goes against everything I stand for, but I'm curious. What are the gays watching? So
Why would the gays be watching Saturday Night Live?
I don't know. I'm not gay. You you have gay friends, and they did a spoof on Serial where instead of a real murder, it was the same premise, but they was trying to investigate Santa Claus.
Yes.
You know, Kris Kringle, as we call him in the South.
Uh-huh.
And they couldn't. It's magic. You can't explain magic. So
I loved that. I laughed so hard. And Cecily Strong was really good in that. What I thought was interesting was they made fun of a podcast, which is an audio medium. They did a video spoof and satire of it. That was really good. Well, I actually agree with you on something here, Clem. I don't know if all of a sudden I'm going to have to run out and take a shower because I agree with you. And because I guess I watch Saturday Night Live, so I must be gay.
Well, I mean, once Obamacare is out of effect in June, as everyone predicts it will be, everyone who has some sense in their life. I mean, everyone but the gays and the Democrats, basically. We'll see what's what. It'll be chaos. Mexicans will be overthrowing the borders. And see, this is what people don't get. Okay, Mike, I'm going to boil it down for you. We don't think or agree with Barack Obama's immigration policy. So what do? What do we want to do as a result? Shut down Homeland Security, which would defund all those border patrolmen. Wait, that would allow all the Mexicans to come over, but that's what we're trying to do. That seems almost counterintuitive, doesn't it, Michael?
Wow. You could replace Bill O'Reilly. Would you be up for his job? He seems like he's so angry and old now he wants to end his show. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
No one can replace Papa Bear.
Oh.
Okay? The most powerful man on cable television, reporter from war zones. He witnessed one of the Kennedys assassinate, killing himself. It's a long word.
Yeah, because he has like killing Kennedy, killing Elvis, killing the Pope, killing Lincoln. Something like that.
Apparently he was there somehow for all four of those. But
his next one's called Killing Clem. I think you should get a little nervous.
Apparently, some of them he's admitted to, he wasn't actually there. He just saw pictures of the event happening. That's what's coming out lately, according to the Rachel Maddows of the world. So how much stock can you put in that? Not very much, obviously, because she's gay.
What I would like to ask you now is, what is your mom doing? Is she doing laundry or rendering lard? I can't quite tell.
In my family, we don't allow women to use washing machines, so she spends a good 15 hours a day washing clothes, and then she just sleeps. She's so damn bone tired. But she got very strong wrists as a result, so God bless her.
Oh, okay. Clem, I am a gawk. I'm a fowl. I'm a something. Hey, Clem, so what do you think? Should I get a television and start watching Fox News?
See, my TV, you can't turn to any channel but Fox TV.
Oh.
So I don't have that problem. So I could get you a similar setup. I know a guy who we could just do some sort of live feed from my TV.
And Hillary will be the Democratic candidate for president. For the Republicans, who's going to be Jeb Bush, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. Your brother, I think it's your brother, the disgruntled fiddle player, he says he wants it to be Rand Paul and Ted Cruz so he can say Rand Cruiser. What are you rooting for?
Rand Paul smokes so much weed he can't see straight. And so I'm perfectly fine. Jeb Bush raises like $10 million a day. Have you heard that?
Wow.
Yes, that's actually he raises multi-million dollars a day. So we might have a third Bush president.
Huh. Well, I don't know, man. I'm really wanting to maybe either eat a shirt or maybe wash my clothes in the lard your mom is rendering And you raise your own livestock?
For some reason, when I wake up and there's pigs next to my bed. Damnest thing. So sometimes we put out a net and catch them, and then we eat them.
But you love animals overall, don't you?
I'm an animal lover.
I think I see you either being an animal, so working with animals, or being in the tech industry. What do you think about the tech industry?
I always pictured myself as the next Mark Zuckerberg. Funny you said that. I just need some ideas.
You kind of, I see you and Mark Zuckerberg being very akin.
Cut from the same cloth, Michael. Twins separated at birth, you could say.
You're grabbing my mobile phone really hard there. My wrist is starting to hurt. Clem, I'm in pain.
You take it and you like it, Michael.
All right, so I see you've just offered me a drink. Looks like some sort of lemonade in a mason jar type thing. If I drink this, will this knock me out and you're going to put me back in my place, my home in Podcaster Valley?
That's lemon jello or limoncello. It's something with the word lemon and something that rhymes with jello. But that's what that is. I made that myself. Yeah, very good.
Well, Clem, I think we learned a lot today. Any other thoughts that you have?
I'm going to go out on a high note.
Limoncello. All right. Nice to meet you, Clem's mom. What's her name anyway? Is it what is it? Addison Louise. Wow. When she said that, a shirt flew out of her mouth. That's weird.
We call her Claudette for short.
All right. What happened to your wife? Wasn't her name like Philippi or Fran? Wasn't she here the last time I talked to you? Or was that your sister? I forget.
She's in Mississippi. These distinctions aren't important. You know, who's your sister, who's your wife, who's to say? It's really tough to determine these things. But she's in Mississippi.
Okay. Well, I feel like I've once again learned so many things and that I've nearly missed death. Live from Clem's house, located somewhere in Greensboro, or some made-up place that Forrest Gump grew up in. It is Mike on Mobile, Mike Matthews with Clem, and Anastasia, Anna something. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye now.
As we go outside of Cafe Anyway here at the last place on Earth, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture is of Basil the Boxer. When we were on our recent trip to Petaluma, we went to the wonderful Rocky Memorial Dog Park. It's this lovely dog park that's elevated up on this little hill, and you can see around, and there's this beautiful nature's habitat marsh kind of surrounding it, and all this grass. It was so much fun. Nice people, super nice people there. Wonderful dogs. Basil had such a great time. You can see him, big smile on his face as he's running through the grass. Now, Petaluma gets quite hot in the summer, and that grass will soon turn to this brown, sort of weedy, crushed vegetation type thing, looking a little more Arizona than Petaluma. But right now, it's nice and green. See that picture now, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Mike Matthews, you know what? I think maybe you should apologize to Harry Reid. Oh my God, let it go. I have tremendous respect for Harry Reid, and I would just like to say maybe more of our politicians should speak softly like librarians. You know, there's so many libertarians now in the Capitol. Maybe that's not too far of a stretch. Spelling-wise, I mean, they're really close. Librarian, libertarian. You just take a couple letters out. Oh my God, Mike Matthews, you're so right. You're being facetious. I know I am, and I never make a mistake. Mike, was that a flashback to your marriage again? I'll just leave that right there. Next show, it's the return of the much-loved feature Matthews News. Plus, we'll hear from Benita, the disgruntled fiddle player, and the brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!